welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a bit of a how-to. So on your layout, if you don't have a fiddle yard to store trains, but you have sidings where you want to store locomotives, rather than taking locomotives on and off the track all the time, obviously you want reasonable length sidings maybe for storing several locomotives. In terms of doing that, if you run DCC, obviously several locomotives occupying the same section of track, it's not an issue. You simply call up the address on your controller, you move the locomotive to where you want it, and then you cancel that locomotive. You call up another locomotive and do the same thing and bring it in, and you can store and stack up your locomotives in the same siding. If you're running analog, it's a slightly different story. Obviously on analog, if you have two locomotives occupying the same track section, once you apply power to the track, you will have no control over either locomotive. Both locomotives will move at the same time, and this is obviously going to cause an issue with storing locomotives in a length of siding. So how do we get around that problem? Well, it's very easy and you don't need any special electronic experience. I'm going to run through that now. Obviously with insulated frog points, simply if you drive a locomotive into an area of track and you want to isolate that locomotive, it's a matter of just switching the points and that will isolate the locomotive. But within much longer sections of track, it's a different story. So down here we have an Italian train, and obviously it's taken up a certain length of the siding, but we have all this space where we can bring in another train. So we have to create what are known as isolated sections. To create an isolated section, we have to break the electric current going from one side of the track to the other. Simply done by putting a plastic flish plate in there, and now this train, regardless of what I do and apply power, it's not going to move because it's past an isolated section. But when we draw out maybe another train that's in front of it, how do we get this train out of the siding? Well, I'm going to go through that right now. I have an isolated siding here, and obviously I've put in a plastic fish plate. You can see some wires there either side of the plastic fish plate. So already this year I have installed a number of these two-way switches. Easy enough to pick up, they're not too expensive, varying prices really, and all you need is a two-way switch, so it doesn't matter what it looks like. I prefer the toggle type myself. I'll just demonstrate how this works. Now I've just applied power to this Bachmann class 37, and she's going to come into the isolated section now. The switch at the moment is in the powered position up, and once it gets past this point here, this plastic fish plate, she'll keep on going. But if I hit the switch, she stops because I've isolated the section. And if I flicker up again, she'll move again. So this is the benefit of doing this, is that now I can now isolate this locomotive and then drive in another train. And you can put as many of these isolated sections in as you need. So what do we need to do the job? Now, to complete the job, you need a few different things. Go through them now. So first of all, you will need a drill. You need to make 2 drill holes in the baseboard to feed the wire through either side of the plastic fish plate, and a suitable size drill bit, kind of around the same size as the wiring that you're going to use. So, you know, it's a nice neat job. Any wiring of any kind will do. Doesn't matter what the color is, you can paint it afterwards to blend it in, so it's not too noticeable, of a suitable length so you can feed it back to the switch. When fixing the wiring onto the actual switch itself, rather than soldering, I prefer these push-on clips. It makes it an easier job rather than soldering. And number two, if you get the polarity wrong, you just simply switch the wires over by unplugging it. You'll need a soldering iron to solder the two wires to the either side of the rail, and of course you're going to need solder. This is the kind of switch, anything like this. You can use a button switch or a toggle switch like this. I'll go through that and you can see the terminals on the back. That's where these little female push-on connectors go. They simply push on the back. Now, if you don't want to build your own switchboard and have all your switches together in order and have them correctly numbered so you know which section you're making live on the track, you can just mount them to the side of the layout like I've done there. I prefer to do that. To do that, I simply use these brackets. Got these from, I think it was some old IKEA furniture, and I'll show you how I mount the switch in this kind of bracket. A couple little screws to fix it to the baseboard as well. You'll need them, and you'll need a couple of washers. I'll show you what you need these for. Obviously the switch is of a certain size and the holes here of a certain size, so it's just to make everything neat and secure for the job. Okie dokie, so let's move on to the next stage. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is just prepare the area. So I've moved everything out of the way, so all the trains, buildings are out of the way, and this is where we're going to be putting our two solder joints on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill two holes either side where I'm going to place the wires. The wires are at the length I want, so they will reach all the way back to where the switch is going to be. Now, when you get to this point here, pause for a moment. We're going to be drilling into the baseboard. Just take the camera off the tripod there. Have a look underneath. So if whatever you store under your layout, before you do work like this, get sheets, towels, cardboard, anything. So you don't want any dust or dirt coming through from drilling. And similarly, if you're working on scenery on the layout and you have storage underneath the layout, make sure it's protected. You don't want any glues, paints, anything going on your nice trains. Okay, so let's drill these holes. Yeah, just to show you here, this is the drill size that I'm using. It's kind of in around the same diameter as the wiring. And also, when you're putting the drill into the baseboard, don't forget about the rails. You don't want the chuck coming down and damaging the rail. Just kind of put your fingers in between and just very, very carefully now, just apply the drill and just make sure the drill doesn't go boom down and hit the rails and damage the track. Gonna do the drilling off camera because it's gonna get a bit noisy, and I'll come straight back to you. Now our two drill holes are made either side of the fish plate, and you can see the holes aren't that big. You know, they just take the water nicely. I've just fed them through temporarily, and the reason for that is that I just want to make sure they go through the baseboard. They're coming out there underneath. So the next thing is to take the wiring out and prepare it for soldering, both to the track and to be attached to the switch. Okay, right. The soldering iron is heating up. Also, a pair of helping hands, really, really useful for something like this. You can put the wire in there and hold it while you're soldering. Okay. So the ends of the wires are tinned now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a solder joint on either side of the rail. So over here, I have just roughened up a little bit with some fine sandpaper, just the side of the rail, and hopefully the solder will take to the side of the rail. Gonna do that now and see how we get on. So we have some solder joints on the side there. Not very neat, but they might just do. So I'm gonna feed these wires through and see how we get on after attempting to solder them. Okie dokie. So you can see the two wires are through there, ready to go. So when they're at this stage, you see the way the wire is just sticking up straight, which is really handy because you just get it down level, put it down level, and just bend the wire over, sorry, to where it should be. Just bend it at kind of a right angles, and hopefully that will make it easier with the soldering. Now the two wires that I've just soldered to the track, here they are, and if I put a battery on that end and then hold the two wires together, you can see that the train's moving. So we've got good solder joints over here. Let's get the switch together now to put it in. So this is the switch as it is when you buy it. So what I generally do, I just take this piece off, just unscrews off, and that comes off like so. We'll put that to one side for the moment. And then we've got this thing, it's like an on-off indicator. Take that off. And then you have this kind of, is a hexagonal little nut washer. That comes off as well. So there we go. We've stripped it completely. So what I'm going to do is, here is our bracket that it's going to fit into. So you can see it's going to wobble around a little bit there. So we don't want that happening. So what I do, generally speaking, is I get something like a washer like that and just slip it on to the switch. Okay, so that can go on in place there now, and then put it through the bracket. Okay, the next thing you do is I get another one of those washers, slip it over it. Now it's not wobbling around as much now. We got our little hexagonal nut. We put it back on. Always very handy to have a box of various sized washers. Just put it on loosely for the moment. Don't tighten it up completely yet. And you can manipulate the switch in it. Put that on a little bit tighter. So it goes on like so. I'll tighten it up more and more as we go. Then this goes on, this little indicator, and finally this little washer will lock everything in place. It's also threaded. Gonna do that now and I'll come back to you in a tick. So the bracket and switch are together, and as you can see, it works perfectly, and the switch isn't wobbling around in it. So you can see the two washers either side, and then securing threaded round piece and a little hexagonal round piece. And then before we put these on, because these just literally push on, really handy, we're going to crimp these onto the wire. I'm going to do that now and see how we go. Okie dokie. Now that is the little connector crimped onto the wire, and I literally just use this, you see the sharp edge there, and I put it around it and just squeeze, not too tight though, and that ain't coming out of there. Right, let's put the other one on and test this switch. Now I just wanted to show you this there, the gap between the switch and the bottom of the plate. If you see here the width of this board, just want to get this in shot for you. Put it in here like so. It literally just slides in. And I'm going to put two drill holes here and put two screws in there. Now the screws for this, they are only, I'll just show you these as clearly as I can, They're only small ones. The head on them is quite small, and it will go through this hole here. So what I've done is I just literally took another washer, put it through the screw, and that will prevent it from going through the hole on the bracket. Okay, gonna do that now and I'll come back to it. So the switch is all together, and with all my switches, when the lever's in the down position, it's isolated, and all I do is just simply offer it up to the side of the board. She's in position, flick the switch, and you can see her going there. She's on a really low power, so we're all good to go. So a couple of drill holes, and that'll be in place. So there she goes, she's in position. So if I get up and show you, flick it up, train's moving forward, flick her down, she's isolated. Job done. So that's it. We've got it in position. So now we can draw another train in here, park two trains up together, and both can leave whenever they want. So let's hope that's helped some of you guys out there. Very useful and analogue layout. That's it for this video. I shall see you in the next video as soon as possible. Until then, everyone take care, look after yourselves.